Back and we're moving on to more NBA. Okay, so besides Williams and Anthony, this was a huge trade.
Huge. This might have been the best in the last couple of
years. The Celtics trade away Kendrick Perkins, Nate Robinson for Jeff Green, Nenad Kristic, and the 2012 Clippers first-round pick. Thoughts on this?
Looking at the players, this was a great trade for the Celtics because Perkins is always hurt, as we just found out. He's out 2 to 3 weeks, and Green's is what, 16-point-a-game type of player. So I mean that's going to be great for the Celtics, especially coming off the bench.
Well, he's a 16-point type player on the Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but I mean, plus the 2012 draft pick from the Clippers.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good one.
No.
And I mean,
Leslie Griffin.
Nenad's not bad. He's not great.
No, he's bad. He's pretty bad.
No, but he's not terrible.
I mean, if I find like a crack addict on the side of the street who's somehow 7 feet, I can throw him in there too. The guy can't do anything.
No, but I mean, he's a good bench guy.
Yeah.
Someone who.
But the problem is last game was starting.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. The Celtics don't have a center now.
Yeah.
Both the O'Neals are always hurt.
Yep.
I mean, what are they going to do? Throw Glenn Davis, who's 6'9", at center? I mean, Garnett doesn't want to play center.
Yep.
So I really don't know what to do. What I'm thinking is maybe Danny Ainge is thinking going back to Leon Powe because he got bought out.
No.
No.
We'll talk about that later a little bit. But I don't hate this trade and I don't love this trade. Usually with Boston, I usually just am biased and just say I love this trade just to kind of give them some hype. But I really don't. I don't love this trade right now. Kendrick Perkins is that rock, and you've heard what Doc Rivers has always said. They've never lost with that starting five, and maybe he was part of in that room with Danny Ainge. So now if he loses, he can say, "Hey, we still haven't lost without our starting five." You know what I'm saying? But right now they're gonna have to. Shaq's gonna have to step up and be that guy. Some of these injuries that he's been saying, I think Doc Rivers is just keeping him out because when we got him, it was for 2 reasons. It was to motivate the fans to come in, kind of like Rasheed Wallace, and for the playoffs. And right now, they've been probably banking on Shaq's to be pretty healthy. I know Jermaine O'Neal's a little ahead of schedule. He's going to be back pretty soon. And they're also going to be going over those buyout players. They're going to talk a little bit, maybe Troy Murphy or something like that. Should be pretty good. But right now, right now the big thing is to get by those Magic and the Lakers and all those big-name guys. And right now, your big advantage over the Heat is your bigs, And now the Heat, it's playing right into the Heat system. If you're going to throw Jeff Green to the 4 and Garnett to the 5, they're going to run all over you, so it's going to be tough. I think that Danny Ainge is stating that this is his team. It's Danny Ainge's team right now. He wants to take all the crap if this doesn't work out. But I think the big thing in this trade is getting Jeff Green because it's going to entice other players like a Dwight Howard to come in after the 2012 season when all these players leave. Rajon Rondo, Jeff Green, that's a solid core.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you one thing, Brian. Over the last 3 years, can you tell me the teams that have made the finals?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
All right, just say some.
The Lakers, obviously.
Celtics.
Celtics, Cavs.
And Magic. What do those all 3 teams all have in common?
Lakers. Big men.
They have the 3 best defensive big men in the game who can defend the low post. And that's saying something right now. Andrew Bynum, Dwight Howard, and Kendrick Perkins are all 3 big men who can defend better than anybody else. And throwing that out the window is tough. It's great in the playoffs to have that defensive rock there to stop Dwight Howard. That was your big thing. Orlando couldn't play us because Kendrick Perkins stopped Dwight Howard. Now all of a sudden we don't know how we can play Orlando, so it's going to be another whole team that we don't have to worry about. We don't have to worry about the Heat more this year because we're not as big as we were. We don't have to worry about the Magic this year. We're going to have to worry about Chicago because they're bigger with us with Joakim Noah. We don't have to worry about Lakers now because they still have Bynum. They didn't trade him. And you're going to have to worry about Atlanta, who's Al Horford is still a defensive center, too. And it's going to be tough. We'll see how it works out.
I'm not too worried, though.
We'll see.
All right, now, overall, just once again, who do you think got the better end of the deal? Celtics?
I think Oklahoma City got the better end of the deal. Right now, Oklahoma City, if you look at the West, all these teams right now, they're not great defensive teams. If all of a sudden, if you can insert Kendrick Perkins when he is healthy, back into that team with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook behind you.
That's a great team.
That's going to be a solid team. And any defense.
Perkins isn't good on offense, but he's that beast on defense.
And right now, the Lakers have been running away because they have Paul Gasol and Andrew Bynum and Lamar Odom because they're so big and they're so strong up front. With Kendrick Perkins, it's going to put some serious pressure on them. And who knows, maybe Oklahoma City can finally take on the Lakers before they reach the finals.
All right, moving on. The Bobcats send Wallace to the Blazers for picks. Yoel Presbilla, and Dante Cunningham. Thoughts on this?
I love this trade for the Blazers right now. The Blazers have been without Brandon Roy for a long, long time. Wesley Matthews has stepped up. Like I said, he was going to have to. Now they have Andre Miller, Brandon Roy's coming back, Wesley Matthews, and Greg Walsh, who I said right then, he's a huge, huge defensive player. And all these teams, this happened right after the Kendrick Perkins thing. They probably noticed that. They said, hey, we need to get better on defense because we need to play this team. They're a potential player with that Andre Miller and Brandon Roy still. And the big guy, LaMarcus Aldridge, who was an all-star snub. With Greg Walsh, he can shoot from on the three. He's the best perimeter defender in the game. He's great on his feet, very fast. And it's going to add a huge dimension because now everyone is double-teaming Brandon Roy. It's going to spread the field out. They can put Gerald Walsh at the 4. They can bring Wesley Matthews at the 3. You're going to be wide open the whole court.
I don't really know if there's anything left to say, but you pretty much
Go
have
ahead.
everything, so.
It's a good trade, though?
Oh, yeah, good trade, definitely.
All right, now next, Aaron Brooks traded to the Suns for Goran Dragic, future first-rounder. Thoughts on this?
You can take it.
Take this one?
Oh, okay, this way.
Again? All right, well, Phoenix, like I just said, they're 10th in the conference right now. They're right there. We just talked about Denver. They could be out there. Memphis, they're a young team. Who knows? Right now, Phoenix with Steve Nash is very experienced. They still got Grant Hill over there. They're a pretty good team right now. Everyone knows they traded Jason Richardson, Hedo Turkoglu. They got Vince Carter back. He's playing pretty well. With Aaron Brooks, last year was one of the best scorers in the game.
I think he's one of the most underrated players.
Yeah, well, this year he's taking a deep fall back because of his injury. But, I mean, if they can integrate him into this offense a little bit, if Phoenix likes a big offensive team, not as much defense, he's not as great at defense as he is offense, I love this trade for the Suns.
I think it's great for the Suns. I think it is going to put them in contention now.
Yeah.
For, maybe 7th or 8th.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good battle there.
Yeah, and the West is they're very top heavy there, and before the East was very top heavy and weak in the bottom, and right now it's about equal. They're both kind of top heavy, and right now it's Denver, Memphis, Utah, Phoenix. Those could all intertwine there. Who knows? It's gonna be right now. I'd say it's gonna be Phoenix and maybe Memphis who take the 17th spot.
All right, the Rockets trade Battier to the Grizzlies for is it Thabit or
Shane Battier, Sheen the Beat.
The Beat?
The Beat.
Okay.
UConn block guy.
Thoughts on that?
Well, the Beat was second in the draft. In that draft with who's that big guy? Ricky Rubio and all them, and he's so far he's been undervalued. Nobody's really talked about him because he's really not been as good as he was in college. When he was in UConn, he was a blocking maniac over there. He had like 4 blocks a game. He was in triple doubles with blocks. But right now he's supposed to be a huge defensive player. But usually these big defensive players like Greg Oden, Sheen the Beat, in college, it doesn't translate into the pros because they're playing they're not as good as players. So they're just blocking the hell out of all them. Once you get to people like facing Kobe and Paul Pierce, it's tough.
And also the injury problems.
Yeah. But like I said, Memphis is a very young team, and with Shane Battier, he's a very good three-point shooter. That's something they desperately needed. And he's also very experienced. He's been to a lot of college finals. He's been to playoffs. So
he's been on a lot of teams.
Yeah, he's been on a lot of teams. I like this trade with Shane Battier.
I think it's a great trade too. It gives Memphis that guy that he can kind of show the younger guys what to do, as well as helping them out with the scoring.
Yeah,
so.
and also Shane Battier, along with Tony Allen, are two of the best perimeter defensive players in the game. So if you can face like a Kobe or anybody over here, San Antonio, they can stop a lot of those players. And like I just said, Portland, if they had Gerald Walsh and Brandon Roy. You throw Tony Allen and Shane Battier there, they're done. They're both really solid defensive players, so I like this trade for Memphis.
All right, moving on. The Clippers trade away Baron Davis for Mo Williams and Jamario Moon.
Yeah, this is kind of crap for crap. Both of these teams kind of blow. But Baron Davis actually he had a big problem with his owner. His owner, when Baron Davis a couple games ago was shooting, he was booing him because he hates him so much and he doesn't think he lives up to his contract. He's been a ball hog with even Eric Gordon and Blake Griffin there. I think the owner wants them two to be the faces of the franchise, and he's still trying to take it over. So I think the owner finally had enough, and Baron Davis had enough of the owner. So he just swapped. Mo Williams isn't as good as he was a couple years ago, though.
Yeah, especially without LeBron.
Yeah. Yeah, if you take away LeBron, that's another.
He's pretty much just outside threat, and that's it.
Yeah, and right now, Mo Williams is that one guy with Cleveland, so they were just double-teaming him, and he couldn't get a shot off. Maybe he helps out the Clippers, but the Clippers are way too far now.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's just crap for crap.
How about Cavs Clippers in the finals, huh?
Yeah, it could be serious stuff.
All right. Well, right now because of time, we'll just announce the rest of the trades that went down. Atlanta sends Mike Bibby to the Wizards for Kirk Heinrich. The Hornets land Carl Landry, Marcus Thornton, and cash. And number 3, the Bulls send James Johnson. He traded to the Raptors to first round pick. The Thunder also trade Nazar Mohammed.
I like New Orleans getting Carl Landry there. That my team
Yeah.
at the beginning. That's a solid pickup for them.
Yeah, Carl Landry's really good.
He is solid.
All right. Who was the biggest? This is a 2-part question.
Yep.
One to you, one to you. So, Mitch, who do you think was the biggest winner of the trade deadline?
I have 2. I say the biggest winner is probably Carmelo Anthony because he wanted to go to the team.
And there goes the phone.
Sorry about that. Also, I like Gerald Wallace going on the Trailblazers for all the reasons that I just mentioned. I also like Aaron Brooks there, and yeah, that's pretty much. But Gerald Wallace, Oklahoma City, and Carmelo Anthony, my 3 winners.
You don't think the Knicks?
I said Knicks. Well, I said Carmelo Anthony because he wanted to go there. I still don't think. I mean, yeah, I guess, but I think Anthony's a bigger winner than the Knicks actually.
True. All right.
What do you think's the winner?
I'm thinking the Knicks.
Knicks? Yeah.
Because they got Billups and Anthony. They got the leader and they got the scorer.
Yeah, I guess.
So.
All right. Now, also, Mitch, which players do you expect to possibly be bought
What
out?
about the loser?
The loser.
Yeah, biggest loser? I'm taking that.
I'll take it. I think the biggest loser might be the Celtics.
I think so too.
You know, losing Kendrick Perkins, that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go Celtics too. You know, losing, like you just said, losing Kendrick Perkins is a big, big loss to them. They don't have that defense.
I think Kendrick Perkins is also a big loser here too.
Yeah.
You know, he gets traded from the team that he's been with that he continually wins on.
And I also
gets
say
hurt
that,
right away.
Going back to the players, I think the biggest loser is Baron Davis. You know, he was terrible in Clippers, and the owner hates him. So what does he do? He sends him to the worst team with no future at all.
Yeah.
And now he's just gonna have to be a ball hog over there in Cleveland, make them suck even worse. But
He should just retire now.
that
That way
guy's,
he can come back and go to another team.
yeah, and Baron Davis, that career has gone down the toilet. But yep.
All right. Now, Mitch, which players do you expect to be possibly bought out, and where could they possibly land?
Yeah, I got a couple players here. I got Troy Murphy, T.J. Ford, Jason Capono, the big 3-point shooter, Mike Bibby, and Rip Hamilton. I see the Celtics being huge players in these bought-out deals. You know,
Oh, yeah.
they traded Luke Herringody and Semi Yurdan just to create space for this, and they have some serious.
But they did get a pretty good pick back.
They did with Clippers. That's gonna be huge. But you know, Troy Murphy, I really like him going to the Celtics. They need that. He's kind of like Rasheed Wallace 2.0, only better than him. You know, he's and speaking of Rasheed Wallace, let's talk of him maybe going to the Celtics too. But we talked about the Celtics' lack of big men. They're gonna go after Troy Murphy. I think they're gonna land him. If not, they might convince Rasheed Wallace to come out of retirement. They're also talking about getting either Mike Bibby or Rip Hamilton, another leader off the bench. I like Mike Bibby there. They traded Nate Robinson. Who knows about Delonte West with their whole injury. Mike Bibby with the leadership over there as backup point guard. I like that.
I do too.
And I think T.J. Ford, he might be possibly landing with Miami because they need that point guard. We all know about their big 3. If they can get T.J. Ford, who's actually the fastest player in the game, it's going to be a serious fast break, and he's a great passer. So I like T.J. Ford in
You think
Miami.
the Celtics will go after Capono? They usually like that 3-point shooter.
Yeah, I like Capono too. He's going to be a very good commodity there.
He's a
I
pretty
think.
big player too. You know, like size-wise.
Yeah, 6'7" for a white guy. I mean, that's pretty big. But yeah, you can go to any of these contenders. You can get 3-point shooter.
He can jump.
You can.
All right. So
No.
today was basically, you know, a basketball show because of the trade deadline.
Yeah.
But next week we will cover hockey because it's the
Trade deadline tomorrow.
Yes, and all the deals that, you know, we haven't already covered, like Cabriolet,
Yeah.
Brian McCabe.
Yeah, Brian
to
McCabe
the
just traded.
Rangers.
Yep, it's big.
All right. Well, up next we have fantasy baseball, so stay tuned.